Still, there it is. There it is. All right, welcome back to A.L. May Memorial Stadium, and we got the comments turned on. I know Matt Stats will be sharing some scores and other information, but Tomcats and Yellow Jackets, Wayne Fleury alongside Jason Jones tonight. Coach Miller is out of town, and homecoming festivities just got underway, and so we're about ready for the national anthem. And Coach, good to have you along with us tonight again. I know we just did that a couple minutes ago. It feels a little bit redundant, but hey, we're here.
Well, not only are we here, but we've got the comments turned on. We've got hopefully some viewers that will chime in and say hello. And
oh, I'm sure they will. They always do. And we're glad for all of them. But let's listen in to the presentation of the national anthem here.
Will be performing tonight's national anthem under the direction of Miss Ida Mitchell, Director of Bands.
All right, well, there you have the national anthem presented by the Stone High Band Ensemble under the direction of Miss Ida Mitchell. Always a fantastic job she does. Has that band up there, either state champions or runners-up the last 2 or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, she's done an outstanding job. She had a lot of talent and help with her, a lot of talented kids, and a strong program here. They do a fantastic job.
Man, it's been a tough week. Of course, the 24th anniversary of 9/11, that Charlie Kirk thing, and man, our country needs a lot of prayer, I tell you.
I've seen a lot of posts that they're all kind of worded a little differently, but they all kind of go back to if we could go back to how we talked to each other on September 12th.
Yeah,
that would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, that's a quite an interesting observation. These two teams getting set to take the field tonight, and the Tomcats, of course, will enter through the Bank of Wiggins helmet over to our left. Captains are making their way out here tonight for both these squads, and try to get some rosters laid out here in front of us where we can see them. I don't know what that mouse just clicked, but anyway, hopefully it didn't take anything away.
No, we got everything. We got rosters. We got a full stadium.
Yeah.
We got some good weather tonight. It's going to be great.
Looks like for the Tomcats, your captains are going to be 10, 19, 74, and 77. So that is going to be Braden Williams, Tariq Noel, Braden Brown, and Spencer Martin. That's going to be your captains for the Tomcats. On the other side of the field, 3, 14, 5, and 7.
First for the visiting St. Martin Yellow Jackets, number 3, Xavier Wiggins. Number 14, Cameron Romero. Number 5, Jaden Curtis. And number 7, Yusef Colding. And the captains for your Stone High Tomcats, number 77, Spencer Martin. Number 74, Braden Brown. Number 19, Tariq Noel. And number 10, Braden Williams.
All right, we'll let Coach Long tell you all about him there on the public address announcer. Of course, this is just a ceremonial thing here. The coin toss has already taken place. You're a former athletic director. You took part in some of those.
Yeah, it's before the game, everybody meets and they kind of lay the ground rules, and more for communication and organization. Should something happen and should the need arise, everybody knows where everybody's going to be, and more importantly, the guys in the stripes, it's their opportunity to make sure everybody knows what's expected of them and what they can do, what they can't do, and they set the tone for the night.
But now, do the captains, these captains that are on the field, get to take part in that, or is that just athletic directors and coaches?
That is your game admin, your coaches, and the officials.
Okay, so the players don't get to participate, and that's why they do this part.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, that gives us a little better understanding. So you get some insight tonight from a former athletic director. Coach Jones was our AD there for, what, one season or two?
One year.
One year.
I enjoyed it, and you get to see inner workings, and I tell you, any sporting event, and I've had the chance to do it at high schools and for a high school and a little bit at the university level. It is a production, and it's a production when everything goes right, and sometimes when the wrench gets thrown in the plan. And
well, that swap around usually means that the Tomcats will have won the toss.
Stone County has won the toss. They've elected to defer.
All right, so the Tomcats have won. They'll be kicking from the right, and that's how this game will get underway. So now you know who's going to get the football. The Tomcats will have it coming out for the second half, but the St. Martin Yellow Jackets will be on offense first. The Tomcats defense, which is probably our primary effort here, and best, I wouldn't say the complete best part, but the defense is pretty good.
Well, and there's different coaches will have different ideas on this. I mean, the time I had as a coach, mainly as an assistant coach, I kind of like the idea you play defense first, and you can really set a tone with that. And of course, you can do the same thing with offense, but when you're at home, you play defense, you can set the tone and really send a message to that opposing team what kind of night they can expect.
Well, here come the Tomcats coming out of the inflatable helmet off to our left there. You see them coming down the sideline. They'll take their position here on the near side. Of course, led by Coach Jacob Aycock. And the Tomcats are 1-1. They defeated Hancock in game one and then lost a heartbreaker last week to Poplarville, Coach. 1 point, 22-21.
Tough game, and there's nothing that's going to take the sting out of that. But and in close games like that, whether you're plus or minus, you can find things in there to build on. And I tell you, one of the big ones, and you got a young man that found out very, very early on the fly that they're gonna be taking snaps as quarterback, and that's a tough job right there. And the young man responded well. Talking about Aiden Green, he came in and did a great job filling in for quarterback.
Yep, that he did, and he'll get another honor at that tonight. Appreciate that, Chris, letting us know we're loud and clear, ready for a little bit of football. To Angel, Chris, Paige, and others that are here. I know Coach Jones is he's not the loudest guy up here, so I'm going to turn him up just a hair and see if I can't make it a little better for him. But we are set to go as the Tomcats will get us underway. That's going to be Ren Hendricks, and here he goes. Hendricks' kick going to be taken at about the 3-yard line. Yellow Jackets will run it back out. Upended as he crossed the 22, and on the return, that was number 14, Cameron Romero. And so Romero will set him up with decent field position, 25-yard line. That's where the Yellow Jackets will get started here.
Yellow Jackets will scrimmage 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
All right.
Well, we're set to go. We'll see if this Tomcat defense is up for the challenge tonight. Quad receivers to the right side and single receiver left, and a quarterback keeper straight ahead. Tomcat defense was ready for that one. In on the stop, going to be Braden Williams.
Number 10, Braden Williams, excuse me. 2nd down and 7.
All right.
So gain of about 3 on the play. Williams on the stop. 2nd down, 7 coming up here. And here's a give to the left side. A little bit of room. Tomcats will wrestle him. They'll have the first down up to about the 39-yard line.
Marshall, the ball carrier. He'll be tackled by number 4, C.J. Griffin. Be a first down for the Yellow Jackets out to the 39-yard line, 1st and 10.
So first down as Marshall carries up to about the 39. Gain of 11 on that play. There's a snap, first pass coming. Looking, pressure coming, and just going to elude it, roll out to the right, hit as he throws. And the receiver will make the catch at about the 43. He'll get up.
Number 20.
Where they're going to spot him around the 45-yard line.
Forced out of bounds by Dawkins.
Looks like they're able to get some yards on a couple of quick hitting plays, but
gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
we had guys running the ball to make a stop.
Picked up 6 on that one. 2nd down, 4 coming up. 2 receivers either side. Now motion out of the backfield. Crockett wanting to throw it over the middle, and he overshot his target. I don't know if he was looking for Sullivan or Romero.
Yeah, it looked like they were stacked up on top of each other. Could have been some confusion in the routes.
All right, so the first 3rd down of the night for the Yellow Jackets. And I don't think all these lights don't appear to be on, Coach.
They don't. We're missing some on the what looks to be the away side.
All right, here's a snap on 3rd and 4. Crockett going to keep it himself. Tough running. He'll get up to about the 48-yard line. He's going to be a yard short, Coach.
Number 10, Williams. It'll be
Well, we're
4th down and 1 for the Yellow Jackets.
About midfield, about a yard short. So we got some.
Yeah, he's going to be a yard short here.
All right, so he's going to roll with his.
Yellow Jackets are at least going to hard count them over there. 2 receivers either side. And Crockett looks to the sideline. Now he will take the snap, and he's coming near side, and he'll have the first down as he gets across midfield and into Tomcat territory, out of bounds at about the 46-yard line.
When you get in those short yardage situations, you at least you want to make them earn it. You know, don't give away yards. You know, on a hard count, or you know, the yards are hard enough to get, and don't make them don't make it easy for them. Make them earn it.
So first down at the Tomcat 46. Looks like they tried to get the lights on. Still got the bank over there on the far side of the field that's not completely lit.
It is not.
And motion across, and here's a give to the tailback. Tomcats are ready for him. They'll drop him for no gain on the play.
Number 22, Tristan Williams. Loss of 1, 2nd down and 11.
So that was Summers on the carry, and they're going to spot him for, actually a yard loss there. 2nd down, 11 coming up here. Now what?
There he goes.
I was going to say, I don't quite know what's happened here.
Got Chat, got the
All right,
feed.
there's a snap, and straight ahead Crockett gets slowed up at the 40, but get a little more momentum inside the 35-yard line. Wow.
Crockett on the carry. He takes it down near the 35-yard line. Be another first down for the Yellow Jackets.
They're going to spot him right on the 35. The Tomcats stopped him.
Well, and it's that second effort, and a lot of times that's what's going to get it.
There's a snap, pass out in the left flat, or check that, the right flat. It is complete.
Crockett's pass complete to Romero. Talk about number
That's
20,
Romero
Terrio.
again. Romero's going to get, looks like they're going to mark him.
Correction, that was Tristan Williams on the tackle.
Is there a flag on the play or something?
Far side, right about the 45 on the visitor side.
He did get up to about the 27, and we do have a penalty marker on the field.
Excuse me, 35 on visitor side.
Yep, I see it over there. And they do not wear microphones, so we'll relay what that is here in just a second as soon as they get through talking about it. So an illegal shift against St. Martin will negate that gain. So a 5-yard penalty going to back them up.
Indication was illegal motion against the Yellow Jackets. The 5-yard penalty be first down and 15.
Yeah, I'm going to have to move that over, Coach. I think that
We good?
that stat computer bumped my. All right, there's a snap. Crockett will swing it out left flat this time. Tomcats are ready. He'll make the stop. Gain of about 6 on the play, up to about the 34.
A lot of white hats flying to the ball, which is exactly what you want.
Gain of 6, second down and 9.
So second and 9 coming up here. Clock at 7:45 here, first quarter. No score in the ball game. St. Martin working on their first offensive possession here. So far 9 plays, about 41 yards. Second down and 9 coming up here. Trips to the right. Up movement on the offensive line. That's going to bring a flag, so that'll back them up.
Before the snap. Dead ball. False start.
Any way you can get them backed up.
Yeah, that'll put them back behind the chains here. And
5-yard mark
have
off.
a little
Second
bit
down
better.
and 14 from the 39.
There's a snap. Crockett rolls out to the right and fires downfield. Tipped at the last moment and incomplete. Nice play by the Tomcat defense. That'll stop the clock at 7:05, but more importantly, third down and about 14 here for the Yellow Jackets. So the Tomcat defense is going to be tested. Nice play by that young man.
At 3rd and 14, you got the playbook gets kind of small right now. Puts you in a tough set of downs right now.
All right, 3 receivers right side, single to the left. Crockett with Summers to his right in the backfield. He'll take the snap, wants to run it himself, goes out to the left side. Tomcats are ready for him, and they'll drop him. He'll get a yard, maybe 2, up to about the 37-yard line or so. Going to bring up 4th down about 11.
That'll bring up 4th down and about 11.
That's a nice comeback from the Tomcat defense. St. Martin's moving the ball downfield, but we're able to put him in 3rd and long, and what looks to be a punt.
Yep.
Cameron Romero.
So Romero is on in punt formation. The Tomcats aren't even going to send anybody back to return it, as they're thinking some hocus pocus might be in line here.
Make sure it gets punted. No surprises.
Now we got players stand up. Yellow Jackets probably going to have to use a timeout here. Clock's down to 6:13.
Delay of game on the Yellow Jackets.
Well, they'll take the delay.
Cost them 5 yards back to the 42.
So now 4th down and 17, and Romero will punt. Gets a good snap. Punt is high, sideways wiggle, takes a Tomcat bounce, and the Yellow Jackets will down it at about the 15-yard line.
Punt will be down by number 21, Matthews, near the 15-yard line.
So
where Stone County will begin their first possession.
not too bad a punt there for that young man. 27 yards, 5:59 on the clock here as the Tomcats force the punt. And so now we get to see the Tomcat offense and Aiden Green back there in the quarterback slot, Coach.
Yeah, for, week number 2 playing quarterback. I had a chance to go to practice this week and watch and talk to Coach Crawford, talk to Coach Aycock, and again, young man gets the news last week that he's going to be playing quarterback and did a great job. I think, because you're coming in.
Zoom in a little bit. There you go.
There we go.
Right in there. All right, so here is Green, and like you were saying, short notice last week, didn't do too bad. Tomcats will shift the wingers over to the left side, and here's Green. Motion across, toss sweep, and looking, that's Collins coming around the near side, cuts through a couple, and Collins, if he could have got past 23, man. And that's going to go down as passing yards for Green as Collins picks up good yardage on first down out to about the 29-yard line, gain of about 14.
Well, that's the way you want to come out of the gate. Something that you practice, something that he's comfortable with, something his guys are comfortable with. You get a plus play, you get a big gain, and you get the chains moving.
That'll be a first down for the Tomcats and the Heat timeout as we have made it to the 5:48 mark here in the first quarter. No score so far in the ball game. That'll give us a chance to remind you of our sponsors tonight. Of course, Tomcat football brought to you by Trinity Funeral Services, offices in McHenry and in Lumberton. Hope you don't need us, but we're here for you if you do. Trinity Funeral Services, 601-928-5558. Also by Ballman Auto Repair, Highway 49 North there in Wiggins. James and Melissa Ballman, in business for years. If you broke it, they can fix it. So go by and see them today. The Post on Pine, the Irish pub there on Pine Hill, and also Crown Care Communities, proud Tomcat sponsors as we get set to go back to action. Clock is back underway here out of the Heat timeout. Here's the snap. Aiden Green, right side, and Aiden, tough room to run over there as he tried to stretch him out, and the St. Martin defense up for the challenge.
Along with 23, Jackson.
Well, get some tough yards there, and you're just trying to get his footing for week number 2.
Yeah, going to lose a couple on that play. Second down, 12 coming up. Ball will be spotted on the right hash as the Tomcats move from right to left, and that bank of lights over there still out. You can kind of see the dark area back there. There's a snap, and this time Green going to go straight into the pile, and Green will get across the 30 up to about the 31-yard line or so, picking up about 3, maybe 4 on the play.
He picks up 4.
Here we go.
Out to the 31. Tackle by number 9, Eric Jones. Third down and 8.
The lights, good example of one of those things as an AD. You know, when one thing to try to run around and get taken care of.
Yep. All right, Tomcats a big third down and about 8 here. There's a snap coming near side as Collins. He splits a couple, and Collins will work his way up near the 39-yard line. That's going to be dangerously close to a first down.
Jaden Collins on the carry. And he'll pick up another Tomcat.
So he will get it, the Tomcats. And on the effort of Jaden Collins, splitting Yellow Jacket defenders and getting up to the 39-yard line and picks up the Tomcat first down. Keeps the drive alive here, Coach.
It is, keeps the ball moving. Again, they're running plays where guys are comfortable. They're moving the ball, moving the chains, and that's exactly what you want, especially coming off a big stop at St. Martin.
And the Tomcats will look to the near sideline. One of the Yellow Jackets come close to encroaching, and now we're going to have a timeout taken by the Tomcats. That comes at 3:56 here in quarter number 1. No score in the ball game. Tomcats take their first timeout, and that'll give me a moment to let you know about Crown Care Communities on Parkway Drive. Danielle Sons and her staff, proud Tomcat sponsors, as they have been for the past couple of seasons. If you have a loved one or a family member that is in need of some personal care, consider going by, and there's the lights. They get them all back on that time. Consider going by and seeing Danielle and her staff. Let them give you a tour of the facility. Speak to some folks that have had loved ones there or have loved ones there currently, and I think you'll find Crown Care Communities does a fine job in personal care. 918 Parkway Drive there in Wiggins. All right, coming out of the Heat timeout, or I'm sorry, the Tomcat timeout. First down and 10 from their own 39. Green wanting to throw it. Looking. Now he's going to roll out, and Green will just tuck it down, get across the 40 up to about the 41. He'll pick up a couple.
You know, and it's a nice luxury back there. You got a guy that didn't see anything that he was comfortable with downfield, but you can tuck it, get you some yards, and you know, still keep the offense rolling.
That is a nice luxury, but it almost looked like a busted play. Looked like somebody didn't run the route they were supposed to. Here's a snap again. Green will give to another play action to Collins. Green kept it himself. He's across the 45 up to about the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. We'll see where they spot him.
Well, and as he's learning, you know, as quarterback, you're directing traffic for everybody else, and sometimes there's going to be, you know, busted plays. You know, there's going to be a busted assignment, sometimes more than one, and he's got to figure out a way to make something out of nothing. And so we did pretty good on that play right there.
Yep, gain of 6. Third down and a couple coming up here for the Tomcats. And here's the snap. Green going to keep it himself, and Green is going to be hit in the backfield. Does look like he got a yard, and so that's going to bring up a 4th and 1 for the Tomcats. All right, Coach, what do you do here? You gonna go for it or punt it away? Looks like the punt team is coming out.
Well, again, we talked about this earlier. You know, how things are going, how you're moving the ball. You know, that certainly is going to dictate whether you go for it or not. However, you got a great punter back here. It's early in the game, and you certainly don't want to do anything that's going to put your guys in a tough position early on. So they'll go with the punt.
All right, so Ren Hendricks on to handle the punting duties. He'll stand just inside his 35, gets a good snap, no real rush, and look at here. Nice punt off the foot of Hendricks, fielded at about the 19-yard line. The Yellow Jackets will return it, and he'll get back out to the 35 on the return. That time was going to be number 4, and that's Kevin Marshall. So Marshall doing a decent job. 35-yard punt, and the Yellow Jackets will start at the 35-yard line. First and 10, no score, first quarter, a minute 53 to go here in the first.
Tomcat defense will get a second chance rather to you know, keep St. Martin at bay and see what happens.
All right, so St. Martin back out for their second series, and a keeper near side. Crockett turns it upfield. A helmet comes off. Crockett goes out of bounds at about the 39. They'll mark him at the 40.
But to see who that helmet came off, he's got to come out of the game now, so they'll make that exchange quick.
We'll call that 5. Be second down and 5.
Yep, gain of about 5 on the play there. Seth Crockett, the Yellow Jacket quarterback. 2 receivers either side, as you guys can see there. Motion across, and Crockett going to keep it himself. And Crockett will have 5 more up to about the 45-yard line, maybe the 46.
Good pick up first down yardage. Tackle by number 10, Williams.
Just across the 45, and so give him the first down here, and the Yellow Jackets get a new set of downs. Same formation. And here's a snap. Crockett wanting to throw it this time. Pressure coming, and he'll just swing it out top side, and his receiver might have took his eyes off the ball, did Summers. That'll fall incomplete. And stop the clock with 55 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. No score so far in the ball game, as sun heading below the horizon off to our right as we look down from the King Center here at A.L. May Memorial Stadium. Glad to have you all along with us tonight for Tomcat football. Game number 3 of this 2025 season, homecoming with the St. Martin Yellow Jackets. Here's the snap, and this is going to be play action again. Option play coming near side. The Tomcats are ready for it, and they'll drop him for no gain on that one.
Nice play by the Tomcat defense, keeping everything in front of them, not getting fooled on anything, and not allowing the gain and keeping them in a long situation.
Yep, Charlie Pasley making the stop on that one.
Charlie Pasley.
And here's a big third down for St. Martin. They're going to send 4 receivers to the top now. A flag comes down. That'll stop the clock at 23 seconds. And the Tomcats were offsides. Wow.
Come on, guys. It's one of those where we just talked about a little while ago. You know, on defense, make the yards hard for them to get, make them earn whatever they get. But still early. Still at about, it's 4th and 5 right now.
The Yellow Jackets were looking to the far sideline, and I thought it was a little early for that, you know. Might have had a moment to adjust. And that, with the clock moving, the first quarter is going to come to an end. No score here in quarter number 1. The Tomcats and the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets on their first possession, 11 plays, 33 yards, and it ended with a punt. The Tomcats' first possession, 7 plays, 31 yards, and a punt. And the Yellow Jackets will take their second possession into the second quarter. We'll swap ends and swap directions here as we get set for quarter number 2. That'll let me remind you that the Post on Pine, one of the proud Tomcat sponsors of this year, you can go there and watch the ball game on the screen there inside the Post on Pine in the old post office on Pine Hill. Lots of events, always something to do at the Post on Pine. Had the first Saturday social last week, and I'm telling you, man, there was a big crowd there for that. Did you make it up, Coach?
I did not get a chance to go, however, have been a couple of times since they've done that, and it's great to see that that they're bringing some business, some traffic to Pine Hill, and really make that a place where we can have the community come out.
All right, 3rd and 5 for the Yellow Jackets. Motion across by Romero. He'll get the football, and the Tomcats are trying to keep him from it, and I don't think they're going to be able to. Goes out of bounds right at the marker.
14, Romero, the ball carrier.
Looks like he may.
By Pasley and Griffin.
Yeah, I think
is he going to spot it short?
They're trying to decide. The white hat is over there.
Yeah, it looks like he's behind. I don't know.
We're going to find out. I guess we're going to bring it out here and spot it, and then they'll bring the change to measure. I think he's going to be an inch or so short,
4th
Coach.
down and 1 for the Yellow Jackets.
Yep, 4th down the yard here.
That's close.
That is close.
Wow.
Yep. All right, Yellow Jackets are going, or at least they're going to try to draw the Tomcats offside.
Watch the football.
Yep, don't take your eye off the ball. All right, here is Crockett, shotgun formation. Crockett's going to take it straight ahead himself, and he will have it as he'll get up near the 40-yard line. Picked up about 3, maybe 4 on the play.
Down to the 39-yard line. Tackle by 10 to Williams. That's a first down.
Well, in those situations when it's short like that, you know, the best thing to do, or you know, the biggest thing to do, don't give it away, make him earn it. Which you know, it was about, I'm guessing up here 6-8 inches, but either way, he gets that first down. Another set of downs, we get to play some more defense.
All right, so 1st and 10, second quarter, 10:29 clock moving right along here.
Clipping by fast.
And here's the snap. This is going to be Crockett straight ahead. Tomcats will stifle him after a gain of 3.
He'll be tackled by number 50, Colton Ladner. 2nd down and 6.
Maybe 4 on that one. You know, that quarterback keeper kind of had the Bulldogs off target last night. And they were able to come away with a win up there, 28-24 at Jones. And the Gulf Coast Bulldogs, the only undefeated JUCO team in Mississippi left. 3 receivers right side for Crockett. Single man on the left side. That's Denarius Shelby over here on the left. But one of his favorite targets, Romero, is wide to the right. Empty backfield this time. There's a snap. Crockett going to keep it himself. He's going to be hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss back to the 40-yard line. Nice play by the Tomcat defense.
Well, you know, when they emptied out like that, it opens up some space to run, but we get a big play by the Tomcat defense.
All right, so now 3rd down and 10. And the Tomcat defense an opportunity here to get the football back in the hands of the offense. 4 receivers to the right side, 1 to the near. Crockett rolls to the right and fires his pressure's coming. Short gain of a yard, maybe 2 over there, and the Tomcats right on top of it.
Pass complete to Sullivan. Brought down by
Well, everybody does a good job of
Williams.
playing their responsibility,
Short
staying
gain,
at
well
home
short of the first
where
down,
they need to
4th
be,
down and 8 for the Yellow Jackets.
and puts them in 4th down and 8. And you know, this is, you're at a point in the field where, you know, 4th and 8, and looks like they'll bring on the punter.
Yeah, they are going to bring out the punter here on 4th and 8. 8:30 clock moving, and like you said, Coach, it's ticking away quick here. We haven't even played 30 minutes of football, and we're about halfway through the quarter. Great snap and a booming end-over-end kick that's going to land at the 4 and dart into the end zone for the touchback. So Romero's couldn't keep that one. The Tomcats will take over at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 from their own 20.
So that'll go down as an 18-yard punt.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Wiggins Family Dentistry.
All right, so tonight's game brought to you by Ballman Auto Repair, Highway 49 North there in Wiggins. James and Melissa Ballman, been in business for quite some time. And like I said earlier, if you broke it, they can fix it. They work on all makes and models. So go by and see James and Melissa and let them know how proud you are that they support Tomcat football. Here's a keeper by Green. He'll come to the near side, get across the 20 for about a yard or so.
Stop by number 34.
Would hope that Aiden Green could find a little more running room there.
Well, puts them at about 1 and 9, you know, and on these plays, if you can get, you know, you get 2 or 3 yards here, 2 or 3 yards there, you know, you just keep the ball moving. Let's run this play, and we'll add a little to that.
Winger will move to the left side. There's a snap and a give out of the backfield and tackled immediately at the 20. They might give him a yard. I don't think so, but that's that young guy, I think JT Terrio on the carry.
Oh, he's a tough runner. Watch him some at practice this week. Kid flies around.
No, I'm sorry, that wasn't JT. That was 27. My bad, which is Amarian Fairley. His first carry of the night. There's a snap, blitz coming. Green going to avoid it, and he'll come back out near side. Just throw it away, Aiden. There you go, but that's probably might draw a flag.
Green's pass incomplete.
It did not get back to the line of scrimmage, but there was a Tomcat in the area, so nice job by Aiden to avoid the blitz, and the Tomcat's going to be forced to punt here.
Well, and that's one of those where you get lucky, and young man made a play that still, you know, kept us where we can have room to punt. We can get the ball away.
Hendricks back inside his own 10-yard line. It's a good snap. And Hendricks, a wobbling punt's going to hit at midfield and take a Tomcat bounce, go out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. That's where they'll mark it. So this effort by Hendricks is going to be a 39-yarder. So not bad for that young man. 6:50 to go before the halftime break. 2 punts by either team. The Yellow Jackets going to take back over. And they get a little better field position. Their best starting point of the night at the Tomcat 41.
Well, they've had a couple of drives now, and what you hope for the defense now, they kind of have an understanding of what St. Martin is, what they do well. And then right now it's just everybody take care of their gap, take care of their assignment, get to the football.
All right, here's trips to the right, single receiver left, and Crockett will fire over the middle, and that pass going to be caught across midfield at the Tomcat 44-yard line.
Man, a lot of white hats coming in right there. It looked like it was coming in to make a big hit.
Terrio on the tackle.
That was Shelby on the reception. Gain of about 15 on that play. They'll mark him at the 43-yard line, so make it 16. First down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets in Tomcat territory. Motion across to have 2 to either side. Shelby looks back, but Crockett's rolling the other direction. He'll flip it downfield. Got his man at about the 42-yard line or so. That was Romero on the reception.
Gain of 6, second down and 4.
Who's that?
They're going to spot him at about the 37-yard line or just inside it.
Official timeout on the field.
Yeah, we've made it to the heat timeout yet again, and that means we're halfway through quarter number 2. So that'll bring us to a halt here.
Well, it gives you guys a chance to get a breather, kind of regroup.
Other games going on out there tonight. I know there's a bunch of them, but Matt Stats hasn't chimed in yet. So I'm going to try to find that score stream app that
the Stone Middle School Tomcats will
coach looks up, get scores on. I don't even know where it's at.
Game times for the middle school game.
Oh, you found them? Oh, that's some Max Preps updates. Go ahead with them.
All right. Got Wayne County 14-7 over Northwest Rankin High School right now in the second quarter. Nothing. Northeast Jones and Newton County. Purvis Summerall don't have a score for that right now. Pearl River Central 14-0 over East Central.
Ooh, Coach Feaster.
In quarter number 1.
All right, coming out of the heat timeout, St. Martin second down and about 4. Crockett wanted to throw it, thought better about it. Now he'll go downfield, had a wide open receiver, but he couldn't hang on, so that'll fall incomplete. And that'll leave him with a third down and about 4 here to go.
Third down.
We had a receiver that was able to get behind the defender, and that's not good, but pass was not completed, so puts him at 3rd and 4.
All right, you're looking right down the line of scrimmage here from our vantage point in the King Center, down the 37-yard line or so. Third down, about 4 here for the Yellow Jackets. Trips left, single receiver right. Crockett wants to run it, and the Tomcats have his number. He'll get a yard to the 36 and no more. That'll bring up 4th down and short.
Looks like they're going to put him at about 4th and 2 right now.
Jackets for 4th down and a long 2.
Yep, so 4th and about 2. The Yellow Jackets keeping their offense on the field here. And Tomcats need to watch the football. And here's Crockett. Takes a snap, going to run it top side. Crockett. Tomcats are trying to get there, but they won't, and Crockett will get to the 32-yard line and pick up the first down.
Crockett keeps it around the right side, forced out of bounds by Williams. That'll move the chains for a Yellow Jacket first down.
They're going to actually mark him. It looks like the 31, Coach.
Got a big gain right now, and you're getting to the point where you've held them out of the end zone, and they've been able to move the ball a little bit, but got a chance to make a big stop right now. About 5:11 left in the second quarter.
Actually picked up 6 to the 30. They spotted him at the 30-yard line. Now we got a flag coming in.
Penalty flag on the field.
And it looks like it's going to be stepped off against the Tomcats yet again.
Dead ball off sides against Stone County. Be a 5-yard mark off.
That's the second time. And those things right there will just aggravate you to no end.
Well, they're just kind of a punch in the gut, especially, you're hanging in there, but you don't want to give those yards away.
Here's a snap, and Crockett going to keep it himself. The Tomcats have it smelled out, and no gain on that one.
Crockett, no gain. Number 10, Braden Williams, takes him down at the line of scrimmage. Second down and 5.
Braden Williams again on the stop.
That was a great play. Good. He's trying to get to the outside, get to the hash. Get to the sideline. Young man makes a good tackle.
All right, Matt Stats finally chiming in there for us. Picayune 14-7 leads Ocean Springs in the second. Long Beach 21-0 over Bay, and here's Crockett. He'll take the snap, going to run it himself again. Coming to the right side this time, more running room as he's just going to get around the corner and step into the end zone for the touchdown. So Crockett makes his way into the end zone, Jacoby Jones had a shot at him but couldn't quite get there. Made a diving effort but could not quite get there. So St. Martin takes the early lead here by a score of 6-0, pending the extra point. Tomcats, watch them do the swinging gate.
Jelanovic on to attempt the extra point.
And here's Jelanovic for the extra point. There's a snap. It was high, but the holder got it down. It is up and through the uprights. And so the Yellow Jackets have a 7-0 lead here over the Tomcats. 4:27 to go in the second quarter here. That drive, 59 yards, 7 plays, capped off by a run by Seth Crockett. 25-yard pickup for the touchdown as he came around the left side.
Aaliyah Myers, Austin Rogers, and Tylee Smith.
Well, with 4:27, the Tomcats they have an opportunity to get back on the field and make a drive of their own and try to punch one in the end zone.
Yep. Well, Austin Rogers, I heard her name called as one of the freshman cheerleaders down there. She's our neighbor down there in McHenry.
We'll recognize our juniors and seniors at the next break.
See Austin down there on the sidelines cheering for the Tomcats.
There we go. Right there.
All right, here's the kick. Going to be a squib kick and covered at the 30-yard line. That's where the Tomcats will get started.
Elijah Bostic will field the kickoff.
All right, 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go here in the first half of play. St. Martin leads it by a score of 7-0, and the Tomcat offense getting another chance here. Aiden Green.
Been a quick half.
It has. Very quick. We have played about 40 minutes of football, or it's taken about 40 minutes. Not a whole lot of passing. These two teams like to run it.
Well, when you do that, you shorten the game up.
All right, Green. And Green just going to take it himself left side, cuts it upfield, still on his feet. Got the corner down the far sideline, Aiden Green. And he'll just step out of bounds somewhere around the midfield stripe. Get on up there, Mr. Striped Shirt guy. They're going to mark him at about the 46.
Nice bounce back from Green. You get a big positive play. You get the chains moving. About to break into the plus side of the field. And as the clock ticks down to the end of the first half, you might get a chance to punch this in. And
plus 10 yards for holding against the Yellow Jackets.
Looks like a defensive penalty is going to be tacked on there. And so that'll move it up to the Yellow Jacket 44.
And I was going to say just a while ago that it's been a relatively clean game, but I guess that's what you get for thinking sometimes.
Ocean Springs tied 14 apiece with Pascagoula. West Harrison leads Gaucher 7-0 in the second. I tell you, West Harrison is making some noise. There's a snap, and Green will give straight ahead, right side, little running room for Fairley. He gets up inside the 40 to the 35-yard line.
Another one of the Tomcat ball carriers that runs hard, head down, gets yards, gets tough yards, but when he gets in the open field, he can run away from you.
So he picked up about 5 on the play there. And the Tomcats will work from the 34-yard line. Here's a snap and inside give, left side over there, not much running room. Maybe a yard. We'll have to see.
He gets back to the line of scrimmage, tackled by number 5, Curtis, 3rd down and 5.
St. Martin's ready for that, and again, this is a guy that, before the season when you're watching film, especially for these first 3 opponents, you're getting ready. You understand what these guys do, and Green is no stranger for these guys, so they know that he's a guy that can be a game changer on any play.
All right, so a big 3rd down for the Tomcats here, 3rd and about 5. Tomcats will switch the wingers to the right side. Now motion across by Collins, and here he comes. Collins cuts it upfield. Collins splitting tacklers. He'll have the first down inside the 25, down to about the 26, maybe the 23-yard line. I'm sorry.
Matthews.
And that'll go down as passing yards again for Aiden Green.
Well, and right now in a game like this, with the circumstances being like they are, again, dial things up that he's comfortable with.
Picked up 11 on that play, Coach.
Big play.
All right, Collins on the right side this time. Here's the snap. Green wants to throw it, looks, fires down toward the end zone, got a man wide open and could not get it to Collins, and now the flag comes in. Collins, there was contact right at the goal line, and so that'll stop the clock at 2:22. And on the near side over here, Matthew Hendry was wide open, but the ball was in the air, so I'm sure they were focused on Collins.
We will gladly take that.
That we will. So that's going to move the football down somewhere around the 12-yard line or so. We'll see where they finally spot it.
Well, now you're at the 12, and again, you're at a point in the field where your playbook, you can do a lot more, you can open it up, but at the same time, do what your guys are comfortable doing.
Yep, that's going to put it right at the 12-yard line. So first down and 10, Tomcats from the Yellow Jacket 12. 2:22 to go here in quarter number 2. Tomcats trailing 7-0. There's the snap. Green going to give it to Fairley right side, and Fairley knocked off his feet for no gain.
Fairley on the carry, tackle by number 5, Curtis. The Tomcats are now in the Planet Nutrition red zone. Whether you're powering through workouts, or just vibing, Planet Nutrition has the smoothies, teas, or supplements to give you the refresh that you need. Locally owned and operated, the staff is dedicated to helping you with your fitness journey and reaching your goal. That is Planet Nutrition, sponsor tonight's red zone.
All right, here's a snap, and this is going to be Fairley again. That was kind of a busted play, and that's going to lose yardage back to around the 15-yard line. Looked like the Yellow Jackets had the blitz on that time.
Yeah, and it's a play where it looks like Aiden has a choice of a couple of things. He makes a read. He can either pull it and keep it, or he can give. And might be one that when we go back and watch the tape, he may have decided he'd do a little something different with that.
All right. Tomcats have a big play right here on third down and about 13. Clock down to 1:15 and counting.
Wow. That's fast. That is a fast half.
All right, trips to the right side. And here's Green. Now we're going to stop play. Timeout taken by the Tomcats. 1:05 to go here in quarter number 2, and the Tomcats will take their first time out of the half. That'll give me an opportunity to let you know that Trinity Funeral Services is a proud Tomcat sponsor. Have been for the past several years. Trinity offers a full line of services for your pre and final need expenses. You can transfer your pre-needs from another funeral service and probably save yourself quite a bit of money in the process. Arrange your funeral ahead of time through a pre-need policy and save yourself a whole lot of money as well. Trinity offers cremations, burials, headstones, insurance policies, and all a full line of funeral services there at Trinity, with offices in McHenry and in Lumberton. For compassion, comfort, and care that you can't find anywhere else, and budget-friendly prices, come see us at Trinity Funeral Services, 601-928-5558. Hope you don't need us, but we're there if you do. All right, coming out of the Tomcat timeout, trips to the right side for Aiden Green. On 3rd and 13 from the 15-yard line. Green will take the snap, and looking great protection. Now Aiden just going to run it out left side, and he'll fire downfield, and that's going to be incomplete. Intended for Collins over there.
Looked like he might have had a little bit of green grass to run on.
Yeah, St. Martin did a great job in closing off the end and keeping him from having the look that he wanted. And so what do you do here, Coach? Do you go or you try to get to 3?
Well, you got a young man that has got a lot of leg, pretty accurate, and that's a nice luxury to have at this level. You know, you get 3, you go into halftime or
all right,
close
so
to it.
Ren Hendricks going to try a 32-yarder here from the right hash. Snap, plenty of distance on the kick, and right through the uprights. Hendricks nails a 32-yard field goal. Tomcats get on the board with 52 seconds to go here before halftime.
Well, you had a nice drive. You were able to move the football. You had a couple of penalties that helped you out with some yards. And instead of going away empty-handed, you get 3 on the board, and then you play defense for just a tick under a minute, and then try to go back in at halftime and regroup and maybe make a few adjustments.
All right, well, so 7-3 as the waning seconds here in the first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a complete look at the statistics that I have recorded here in the first half. We'll look at college football coming your way and recap some scores from out and about that we can find and provide to you. The Golden Eagles going to be at home again tomorrow, and so if you want to catch a little Division I football, make the short drive up to Hattiesburg and watch the Golden Eagles in Appalachian State.
There's some interesting things happening in Hattiesburg right now. I know they've had a couple of big state rivalry games. Good to see those teams playing, but we'll get back on that here in just a second. We'll watch the kickoff right now.
All right, here is Hendricks. And Hendricks going to squib it along the ground. It's muffed, and the Yellow Jackets will cover it at about the 23-yard line. So, nice job there.
Number 20, Dulcie Sullivan.
About 48 seconds left.
Will corral the ball near the 23-yard line.
So you put them in a position where, you tell your guys just play your gaps, play your responsibility.
All right, Coach, we got 48 seconds on the clock here. And St. Martin going to get one more crack at it. The Tomcats will get the opening kick of the second half. So
if you make a big stop here and you go in at halftime, get the ball when you come back, really boost some morale right now.
All right, Crockett looks over the defense. Tight formation this time. He's just going to take a knee, and the Yellow Jackets going to take this lead to the halftime locker room.
St. Martin will take a knee.
Yep, Seth Crockett just kneeled it, and so they may have to do it one more time. Yep, they're going to have to do it once more. Play clock about 4 seconds ahead of the game clock.
It's 25 right now, game clock.
All right, so we'll have one more kneel, and we'll head to the locker room, and there it is. So that'll take us to halftime. Tomcats trail the Yellow Jackets 7-3 after the first half here at Homecoming 2025. The Tomcat band getting ready to perform here. The Yellow Jackets did bring a band, and so you'll probably see the Yellow Jacket band here in just a moment as well. That'll give us an opportunity to let you know that the Post on Pine is a proud Tomcat sponsor. The game's on the screen there tonight. Hopefully all you folks sitting there watching it having a good time at the Post on Pine. Find them on Facebook and stay up to date with all their activities and things that they do. They do all kinds of stuff through the week up there. Had the first Saturday social last weekend. Big crowd up there. My wife and I went up and had something to eat there with some friends of ours, and live music there on the bottom of Pine Hill. Great time for the first Saturday social. Post on Pine there on Pine Street in Wiggins. So, Coach, your thoughts on this first half of play?
Aside from being an amazingly quick first half, which that can be a good thing, believe it or not. That can work to your advantage. Keep the ball on the ground. You make the game short. Stone down 7-3 right now, and they had one big drive that they allowed St. Martin to get some yards on and punch one in the end zone. But they're not making too many mistakes. They've kept themselves in the game. You hadn't got it's not out of hand by any means. I mean, it's a pretty close game. Was going to say earlier in the game it had been relatively clean, and just as soon as I thought that, there's flags all over the place. So that's what I get for thinking.
Well, that's kind of the way it goes when you get ready to say something or think, make a comment on something that's happening, and like you were saying, relatively clean game. Next thing you know, there's yellow dots all over the field out there. But it has been essentially a clean football game in this first half, but it went by really quick. It's still about 7 minutes to 8 o'clock here, and at this rate, we'll be done before 9 o'clock.
And what you have to think about in that is when you get in the second half, if both teams are going to keep the ball on the ground like they have been, your opportunities to get drives. You can't have that mindset if we don't get points here, well, we'll just get another drive. Well, that might not be the case because the drives have been few and far between, and you might not have those opportunities that you think. So you got to capitalize when you get a chance.
That you do, as both teams only had the football 3 times in the first half. The first 2 Yellow Jacket drives were 11 plays and a punt, 9 plays and a punt. First 2 Tomcat drives, 7 plays and a punt. And the second one even shorter, 3 and out for the Tomcats there. And then the Yellow Jackets able to put together a 7-play, 59-yard drive, capped off by the scoring run from Crockett, about 25 yards there. And the Tomcats then took it 8 plays, got down in the red zone, but couldn't do anything with it. 55 yards later, and then a 32-yard Rand Hendricks field goal. That's where we're at here at halftime by a score of 7-3. Taking a look at some other scores that might come up out and about. No score between Perry Central and Forest. Poplarville, well, that was last week. I don't know why that's still there. Picayune and Biloxi going at it tonight over in Picayune. 9-7 Maroon Tide, first quarter score there. Gulfport and Laurel. Laurel leading the Gulfport Admirals 14-7 in the second quarter. Cool. Moss Point leads St. Stanislaus 18-6. That's another first quarter score according to ScoreStream. Poplarville is at Hancock, and the Hawks 13-7 in the second quarter, leading Poplarville down there in Bay St. Louis tonight.
Big game.
No score between Pass Christian, Presbyterian Christian. Forest County leads Van Cleve 7-0. That's a first quarter score. Harrison Central is at Heidelberg tonight, and if this is accurate, Coach, they're getting it handed to them. 28-0. Harrison Central trails Heidelberg tonight in the second quarter. Petal is at Columbia, and the Wildcats lead that one by a score of 20-0 in the second quarter. Purvis at Sumrall, that's a close one. Sumrall leads Purvis there in Sumrall tonight, 15-14 in the second quarter. Let's see, that's Pearl River, Louisiana, so I'm not sure about what that one is. But there's your look at some scores that we had. I don't think Matt Stats has added anything different there. I don't see anything there. So that'll give us an opportunity to talk about a little stats here in the first game. First for St. Martin, Crockett, 5 out of 9 passing, just 36 yards. 1 to Shelby, 1 to Marshall, and 1 to Romero with 2 to Sullivan. And Shelby, the longest one of 16 yards. 6 for Marshall and Romero, and just 8 yards for Sullivan. Running the football, Marshall 1 carry, 11 yards. Crockett 16 carries, 68 yards, and the touchdown. That was the 25-yard scamper that gave the Yellow Jackets that second quarter touchdown. Also, Summers 1 time for a minus yard. Romero 1 for 4, and Sullivan 1 for no gain. On the Tomcat side of the football, Aiden Green 2 of 4, just 25 yards passing, both those to Jaden Collins, and that's going to be those sweeps, Coach, what you would call a jet sweep, but they toss it instead of handing it off, and when you toss it up like that, it goes down as passing yards. And so Green has 25 yards passing, both to Jaden Collins. Green has 8 carries, 26 yards. Jaden Collins 1 for 8, and Amarian Fairley 4 carries for a yard there. He had some more positive yards, but he lost on that last play down in the red zone back to the 15-yard line or so. Looking at this football game, team comparison, the Tomcats have 6 first downs to the Yellow Jackets 8. On third down, the Yellow Jackets are 0 for 5 tonight. Credit the Tomcat defense for that.
Good stops right there, and those are, when you get those, excuse me, when you get those kinds of stops, you got a team that's moving the ball. You got a guy that's making a play, and when you can shut those down, you it shows your guys on offense that that the defense came to play tonight, and both sides feed off of each other, and so far in the stats, it's relatively close on a lot of things. I know we hadn't got down to total yards or any of that yet, but neither team has had an opportunity to really run away with the game, and like we had said earlier, time's going to be an issue maybe in the second half. We'll have to see what happens there.
All right, on fourth down, though, the Yellow Jackets were able to do a little bit better. They've had a couple of fourth and shorts that have went their way, so they're 3 for 3 on their efforts on fourth down. Tomcats on third down, 2 out of 5 have not attempted a fourth down play here tonight. Total yards of offense, the Tomcats just 60 here in the first half. The Yellow Jackets almost twice that at 118. Yellow Jackets have 36 in the air to the Tomcats 25, and that was on 14 passing plays. The Tomcats have just 6 passing plays and 25 yards there. On the ground, the Tomcats with 35, the Yellow Jackets with 82. The Tomcats have ran it 13 plays, the Yellow Jackets ran it 20. Penalties tonight, just 7 so far here in the first half. 36 yards against the Yellow Jackets, 10 yards against the Tomcats, and there have been no turnovers so far here in the ball game, which is a good thing.
Well, the turnovers, you play a clean game. You know there's going to be some penalties, and we've talked about that. And you want to keep those at bay, and especially keep them, minimally where they'll hurt you. But turnovers, especially when if you're putting together a good drive and you're getting some, you're getting small chunks here and a big chunk of yards there. You're moving the ball and then you turn it over. It can absolutely just punch you in the gut. However, on defense, same thing happens. You get that turnover, man. That's the spark sometimes that can get your guys rallied up and get them to where they can, they can make a big play. And especially off a turnover, that's a time when you kind of go in the coaching handbook, and that's when they tell you if you're gonna try something exciting, you might throw out a trick play, you might try to punch one downfield. That would be the time to do it. But if I'm a coach looking at this, I'm telling my guys that, and this is on either side, but especially for the Stone side, if I'm Coach Aycock, I'm telling my guys, look, we're in this. They have not ran away from this. We've got, I don't know if I'd say plenty of time, but
yeah.
But we're moving the ball, and I can almost imagine him saying this. Hey guys, let's just not shoot ourselves in the foot. Let's not give this away.
Yep. Keep playing. Look for your breaks that you're going to get, but execute and keep the football as the St. Martin Yellow Jacket band finishes up. We'll round out our stats here tonight. There have been one field goal, a 32-yarder off the leg of Ren Hendricks to give the Tomcats their points. And on the other side, no field goal attempts, but they are 1 of 1 on extra points. There have been 2 punts by either team tonight. The Yellow Jackets averaging 32.5 yards. Hendricks averaging 37 yards on both punts. And the Tomcats have had it 8.5 minutes, and the Yellow Jackets had it for 15. So time of possession favoring the Yellow Jackets here in the first half. There's your look at tonight's statistics as the Tomcat band gets set to take the field. We're going to give you a moment, or give them a moment to set up and talk about a little Southeastern Conference football coming your way tomorrow, Coach. You follow them, anybody in particular there at all?
I don't have a team that I latch on to. I'm a Golden Eagle fan at heart, a 2-time alumni, so I will follow some of the SEC teams. I enjoy watching them because it's usually good football, but that is one that's year in, year out. It's absolute at the top of college football. However, with the situation, what's the best word? The landscape of college football now, with the coming and the going, I think that gap that used to be between the SEC and some of the other conferences, I think that's going to be shortened a little bit.
Oh, it has definitely narrowed. Definitely, with the nil situation and everything else in college football, it has narrowed. But the SEC still putting, I believe, the best football on the field in several cases across the way, and hopefully that will continue to be the trend. But I don't even want to get started talking about Neil. I think it's just about ruined college football as I was used to it. I don't know about you.
Well, years and years ago, and I'm thinking as a from a coach, and I have never, been a college coach, but have worked around some of them, and when a kid comes in or when a class comes in, and you've got them for 4 or 5 years, and you know that you're going to have them. Now, there's going to be some kids that'll come and go, and transfer has always been there, but you knew what you were going to have, and you were going to have a signing class of about 20 to 25 guys each year, and you were going to develop them, and that's who you were going to have, and now it's almost flipping the whole roster over, and when you think about that, you're talking 85 to 100 guys on a roster, and we mentioned Southern a while ago. I think there's some interesting things happening. Coach Huff comes in, and there's a lot of players from Marshall that come with him, but there's a lot of guys that come from other places, and it's good in a way, but also if what you're used to,
Right.
You mentioned a minute ago, it's not that same game.
Right.
But when you come in and have to change a culture,
Ladies and gentlemen,
you can do that when you have that turnover like that.
All right, let's take a look at the Stone High Band. That'll give Coach and I a break for here a moment, so you enjoy the pride of Stone High.
Show entitled Oh Charlie. We would like to thank all of our show sponsors with a special thanks to our director's level sponsor, the Bank of Wiggins. The band is under the field command of drum majors Parker Germain and Darcy Ladner. And now, the Stone High Pride.
Featured dancers were Kylie Green and Bailey Green. Flute soloist is Miley Bird.
All right, Coach, there's a little look at the Pride of Stone High School, the marching band there, and we're going to have to run through these games pretty quick here in the Southeastern Conference. Of course, Southern Miss at home again, Appalachian State coming in tomorrow. You're going to have Wisconsin at Alabama tomorrow afternoon. Wisconsin coming in at 2-0, Alabama at 1-1. Oklahoma will be at Temple tomorrow. South Alabama will be at Auburn. Louisiana Lafayette will take on Missouri.
Don't sit on South Alabama going to Auburn.
I know it. Georgia at Tennessee. UTEP will be at Texas all the way down to number 7 after that opening weekend with Ohio State. Alcorn State going up to Starkville, take on the Bulldogs there tomorrow, and the Bulldogs at 2-0.
They are. There's some interesting things happening in Starkville. Coach Levy is. I still think that they're when Leach was there, man, there was something that was building, and they. Unfortunately, he passes away, and that was a tough position for anybody that was going to go in there. But Mississippi State, when we're talking SEC, is one of those sneaky places that you can go in there, and if you can patch together 8-9 wins a season, and it's hard, especially in this day and age, because you can turn things around pretty quick. The alumni get restless, and they get big aspirations, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's a good thing, but you can go in there, you win 8-9 games, and obviously you gotta beat the school up north. You gotta beat them. But that's a place where if you go in there and you play your cards right, it's a good place, it's a good town, it's a good atmosphere, it's a good campus, leadership is solid, and you're gonna have resources. Now, there's kind of a hierarchy, there is a hierarchy within the SEC, but Starkville's a good job, good place to be, and if you got a guy that can be creative, and right now they got an offensive guy. Leach was an offensive guy. You get somebody in there that you surround yourself with a great coaching staff, guys that can recruit. You can put something together quick down there, or up there rather.
Arkansas going to the school up north tomorrow. Ole Miss ranked at number 17. They'll host the Hogs. Both teams at 2-0, so somebody's O is going to have to go there at Vaught Hemingway tomorrow. Eastern Michigan will be at Kentucky. Texas A&M will travel up to Notre Dame. That ought to be a big contest tomorrow evening.
My goodness.
6:30 on NBC tomorrow. Aggies and Irish going at it. Florida going to be at LSU, and Florida kind of reeling a little bit there at 1-1. LSU at 2-0. Kelly's got things heading the right direction over there. Tigers up to number 3.
He has got a fantastic roster. Again, he is in a place the expectations are high. There have been national championships won, and these are not championships that have got dust on them. These are they're fairly recent. So again, good football coach. He's won everywhere he's been. And now, he had a chance to come down here, and he knows that the eyes are watching, and it's, the clock's ticking. He's going to have to put together a big season.
Well, you're talking about that parity across the league. Vanderbilt's been one of them places that, Nick Saban mentioned this last year before Vanderbilt beat Alabama. Vanderbilt's going to South Carolina tomorrow. South Carolina ranked number 11. Both teams are 2-0. And Diego Pavia, man.
Those two teams right there, those are two teams that I have enjoyed. I have wanted to pull for in the past, and here's why. Vandy, guys go there, and it's a tough place to win, and it always has been. And South Carolina, you asked me a while ago, do I follow one? I don't really follow, but now I enjoy watching South Carolina. I like Shane Beamer, guy that grew up in field houses. Dad was Frank Beamer, longtime coach of Virginia Tech. And if I'm not mistaken, special teams coordinator for the Mississippi State Bulldogs at one point. So he's got some tie back here. Fun guy to watch. In a place that has, it's had some struggles. I mean, Lou Holtz has been the head coach there. Steve Spurrier's been the head coach there. So they've had some big names, and But it's been fun watching him kind of
Well,
build his program up.
South Carolina, 2.5-point favorite in that ball game, but I like the Commodores. I'm telling you, I just something about it. I really like the Commodores.
I can't remember Clark, the head coach at Vanderbilt. I think this is maybe year 2 or 3, but was an assistant at Notre Dame. I think he was defensive coordinator, but he's a Vandy guy, if I'm not mistaken. He was a Commodore, and you get those guys that come home.
Yep, and you know, they build something there when they come back home.
Absolutely.
All right, second half of action about set to get underway. Of course, the Tomcats going to get it, and here comes the opening kick. Squib kick, and it's going to be picked up around the 8-yard line or so eventually. They whistled it dead, thankfully. And that's a procedure call against the Yellow Jackets, so that's going to back them up 5 yards. I was watching the football. I didn't even see the flag come down. St. Martin kicking away here. They'll do it now from the 35-yard line.
Maybe that will bode well for the Tomcats with a penalty on the opposing Yellow Jackets.
All right, so we'll do it again. West Harrison leading Gaucher. Picayune leads Biloxi. Long Beach 28-0 over the Bay. Greene County 14-7 over George County. And here's a squib kick to the near side. And that's going to get by everybody. I don't think it was touched. And that'll go for the touchback.
We're going to the end zone for a touchback.
So how about that?
First and 10 from their own
well, I was saying no, don't
touch
don't
it.
touch it. No.
Do not touch it.
Your go-to restaurant in Wiggins for amazing customer service, awesome smoked meats, great wings, and traditional barbecue side dishes.
All right, third quarter action coming your way. Tomcats looking to get on top of these Yellow Jackets here.
Will be open
7-3 as we start quarter number 3.
Again, a quick first half. We'll see how this one plays out. You know, possessions are not going to be a lot, so you got to make these count.
All right, as we get set to go, Greene with Fairley beside him in the backfield. Single receivers to both sides. Winger on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Here's the snap. Greene keep it himself, looking for the hole. He'll get about 3, maybe 4 over the right side.
You know, I'm glad we got that yardage right there. I was thinking about something in the first half. You know, you get 2 or 3 yards here. You know, you put yourself in 2nd and 6 or 7, and
2nd down and 6.
4-yard pickup, and now the Yellow Jackets jump off sides. But that was he drawn off by one of the Tomcats? I don't think so.
Let's let them talk this over, see what happens.
Yep. And he's going to turn around, so that's going to go against the defense. There we go. So that'll mark off 5 yards. Stop the clock at 11:31 for the moment. It's back underway now. Now the Tomcats a 2nd and 1 situation here.
Playbook gets pretty big then.
Greene to the left side. He'll have the first down. Gets up to about the 33-yard line.
What I was going to say earlier is, you know, you get 2 or 3 yards, you're in 2nd and 7, and then you get 2 or 3 more yards. Well, now you're in about 3rd and 4. Well, that's manageable, you know, and just chip away at it. You know, they don't have to be home runs every time.
Right. But the fans always want to see the home run.
They do. They do.
All right, Collins in motion. He'll get the toss. This will be passing yardage. Breaks one tackler and out of bounds around the 39-yard line, picking up about 6, maybe 7 on the play.
Like he had a pretty good bit of contact down there, too.
Yeah, he broke a couple of tackles. Just shy of the 40-yard line. They'll mark him at about the 38-yard line, I think. Yep, they're going to mark him at the 38. Do I see a marker over there?
Well, that's what I was saying.
Oh, no, that wasn't. It was something from the Yellow Jacket sideline, so thankfully.
Well, I had wondered that because it looked like he might have been out of bounds where he had a little contact.
Well, they ruled him inbounds. Clock continues to run. I thought he got out of bounds, too. 2nd down, call it 5. There's a snap. They'll fake it, going to the top side. Got the screen pass, but St. Martin read that one. It's going to lose a yard, maybe 2.
Loss of a couple on the play. Talk about number 24, Keys.
He's going to lose a couple on that one.
3rd and 7.
So
third and 7 is still manageable down.
well, you know, that might be where an inexperienced quarterback might have saw that not shaping up the right way and went another direction with the football.
Yeah, I mean, there again, the practice is one thing, but game, man, it just moves quicker.
Now we got a flag coming in from the top side, and I'm not sure if that's going to go against them or us. Hopefully he turns and faces the other way, but nope, he's going to back the Tomcats up.
The Tomcats, a 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
3rd down and 12.
So now you're looking at 3rd down, and you're behind the chains. 3rd down and 12 here. So the Tomcats going to have to dig in the playbook and get something bigger.
Well, and you know, you've got one game and 1 week of practice to find out again what he likes, what he's comfortable with. But, you know, this is what you got to work with, so here's where we are.
Trips left, 2 receivers right side. Green going to set up the wide receiver screen on the top and let Collins try to make a play. He'll get up to about the 35-yard line and no more.
Talk about 4, Marshall.
Looks like they'll make it back to the stick. A little bit past.
Yep, he'll get up to about the 34-yard line or so.
4th down and 9.
Gain of about 3 on the play. 4th and 9 coming up here, and the Tomcats going to have to punt, so out comes Hendricks.
Romero back deep to receive for the
Hendricks
Yellow Jackets.
averaging about 37 yards a punt here. We'll see what he does on this one.
And this can be a nice weapon you have back here. If you got a kid that can you know, get some air up under it and get a little distance and help your defense out.
It's a good snap. High wobbling kick, good hang time up there. Hopefully it takes a Tomcat bounce, but it does not, and the Tomcats will have to chase it down, and they'll do so at their own 45-yard line. So a terrible bounce for Hendricks on that one.
Hendricks punt takes an unfortunate roll back into Tomcat territory at the 45. Yellow Jackets begin
That's
first
only
and
going to be
10.
an 11-yard punt. That'll
45.
hurt his average. 8:26, and the Yellow Jackets in Tomcat territory as they take the ball for their first possession here in half number 2. Poplarville has got things going, leading Hancock 33-19 at the half. Oof. 2 receivers on the far side. Now one will come in motion, and Crockett going to keep it himself. Option play, but he'll hold on to it, and Crockett will go out of bounds at about the 39-yard line or so, picking up about 6.
He'll pick up 6, 2nd down and 4.
Important with a guy like that, you know, you want to try to have, and it's like it's an option to pass, but you want to try to have something there to keep him bottled in.
Same formation again. Crockett will give to the tailback this time. The Tomcats will stop him just short of the 35-yard line, so gain of about 3 on the play.
He'll get down near the 1st down, tackled by Luster. 3rd down and short.
Going to be short. Empty backfield this time. Crockett will take the snap, run it himself, and he'll split out to the top side, find a little room. He'll have the 1st down. Tomcats will tackle him down at about the 29-yard line.
Keeps it. He'll pick up the 1st down. Tackled by Jones.
So the Tomcats have got to find an answer to stop Crockett. Otherwise, he's just going to continue to march it down the field. 7:16, clock still moving here in quarter number 3. There's a snap, and Crockett looks right, back to the left, fires over the middle, got a man in the end zone, in and out of the hands of his favorite target down there,
Crockett's pass incomplete, intended for Romero.
which was Romero, incomplete. He had him open.
It is big down for the Tomcats,
Jones
and
coverage. 2nd down and 10.
again, drop pass, just as good as a batted pass away, so puts them down in a 2nd and long.
All right, Crockett, 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right here. Now motion in from the right side. Crockett's going to keep it himself. Tomcats have it smelled out, and he'll get a yard or a couple up there, but not much more, up to about the 27-yard line.
Tackled by number 4, or forced out of bounds by number 4, Griffin. 3rd down and 7.
Keep Hats close to him and not, you know, don't let him get around and get get a big play on the edge and keep white hats running to him, and that's what it's going to have to be is a bunch of guys running the football.
All right, so a big third down play for the Tomcats. 4 receivers left, 1 to the right, and the Tomcats jump. And they say they got in the neutral zone. Noel pleading his case on the far side, but my word, it didn't look like he was in the neutral zone. Coaching staff is all upset here on the near side. But nonetheless, they're going to mark off 5 yards against the Tomcats.
Well, you know, and unfortunate for the Tomcats, because from where we're sitting, it looked like, you know, they did nothing wrong. However, I understand where Coach Aycock is coming from. That is frustrating beyond belief.
And now Tariq Noel has to come out for a play. Maybe he said something he shouldn't have to the official, but in his defense, it certainly didn't look like he was in the neutral zone.
No, it did not.
All right, third down and short. And here's Crockett. He's going to run it himself straight ahead. The Tomcats will hit him and turn him away. And credit that stop to big number 50, Chad. Not Chad. That's the wrong side. Look on the other side. Colton Ladner.
Colton Ladner is a name that gets called out a lot on the Tomcat defense. That's a big play right there.
That's a huge play. And now the Yellow Jackets going to line up on 4th and 2. 2 receivers either side. Ball's on the right hash. And Crockett going to take the snap and go to the top side. The Yellow Jackets have it sealed up pretty good, and he'll get the first down as he's down near the 15-yard line. And again, no answer for Crockett.
Forced out of bounds by 50, Colton Ladner.
Ladner forces him out at the 15. That's a gain of 6 on the play.
First and 10 from the 15.
Another first down for the Yellow Jackets.
You don't want to, you're right now kind of a bend but don't break, but you're running out of some space right now.
Crockett will take the snap, wants to throw it. Fires over the middle, and his receiver fell. There was contact. The flag comes in from the far sideline.
Penalty flags come in.
Not from the back judge, but the same one that threw the offside penalty earlier.
Let's let them talk this over. Was there, you know, who was responsible for the contact?
And it will be the Tomcats, it looks like.
Pass interference on the defense.
Wow. So we'll see where they're going to set the football down here. Need to confiscate his flag for a play or two. They're going to mark that one down to about the 7. First and goal for the Yellow Jackets from the 7-yard line.
I'm not sure what this is.
I don't know what's going on here.
First down and 3 yards to go from the 8.
So first and 3 from the 8. All right, there's a snap, straight ahead give. Tomcats are ready for that one. Maybe a yard. Summers will get down near the 7.
Gain of 1, second down and 2.
They've done a really good job about keeping the middle plugged up.
Second down, the couple here. St. Martin in no hurry. Clock is under 5.5. Here comes Crockett to the near side, and the Tomcats will hit him, but he manages to stay on his feet and get down to the 3-yard line.
Crockett forced out of bounds by Luster.
Crockett's going to be one of those guys
around
that
the 3-yard line.
You're not going to be able to just. It can't be just an arm tackle. I mean, you're gonna have to make sure that you bring a hat every time, get him wrapped up, preferably all hats running to him.
All right, so the Yellow Jackets first and goal inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. And trying to figure out a way to get Crockett stopped from gaining yards here. 2 receivers right side. They'll bring him in a little closer. Here's the snap. Crockett going to back up and look. Pressure coming. And Crockett is going to run into a host of Tomcats, but athletic ability, he'll fire it downfield, and that's going to be out of bounds and incomplete.
Pass incomplete intended for number 45.
That's just the athletic ability of Crockett there to avoid that sack, Coach.
It is, and those are the kind of plays that, whether it's, for any team, when you got a guy that can do that, it's one of those that it kind of keeps you alive to play another down when they can get rid of it and make something out of nothing.
All right, 2nd down and goal, and all eyes on Crockett here. Clock stopped at 4:44 here in the 3rd. And here's Crockett. They're going to swing it out top side, short of his intended target. That'll fall incomplete.
Sherwood.
Looking for Sherwood out in the right flat.
3rd and goal.
Tomcats hanging in.
Like a hair in a biscuit.
I mean.
All right, so 3rd down and goal now. If you can hold them to at least a field goal attempt here, that's a huge accomplishment. Crockett, overload left this time, and it's going to be Crockett keeping, and he will fall forward into the end zone for the touchdown. Just too many yellow hats over there, Coach.
3 yards out.
There are, and this is at the point in the game, and we had talked about this. You're at about 4:35. And they punch one in. Again, it's not too far ahead by any stretch, but time is going to be important now.
That it is, and it's going to get even more important. Extra point attempt coming up here off the foot of number 33, and that is Warren Jelanovich. There's the kick, and Jelanovich gets it through the upright. And so now 14-3 Yellow Jackets, 4:35 to go in the 3rd. That'll give us a opportunity to let you know that this game brought to you by Ballman Auto Repair on Highway 49. Northbound side there just south of town. Been there for quite a while, so I'm sure everybody locally knows where it's at. Hard to find a mechanic you can trust. James and Melissa Ballman been in business for a long time here in Stone County. If you've got automotive repair needs, go by and see the friendly folks at Ballman Auto Repair. Let them know that you heard about it here on Tomcat Football. If you broke it, they can fix it. If it won't run, they'll get it running for you. Ballman Auto Repair, Highway 49 in Wiggins.
Junior cheerleaders, co-captain Jalen Leidig. And All-American Aiden Lozana.
Picayune leading Biloxi 16-7 middle of the 3rd. Pearl River Central, Coach Feaster and his staff all over East Central 28-7 at halftime.
Presley Hunt, Stella Jenkins, Avery Limer, and Landon Woodard. Senior cheerleaders, Captain All-American Shamir Haley, Captain All-American Bailey Simmons.
All right, Jelanovich going to get us back underway here.
They've done some squib kicks, but, if you're on that front line, you make sure that ball gets away and that there's nothing.
Give it up for all our 2025 varsity cheerleaders.
Nothing that they try to do creative right now.
And he'll squib it again. It'll hop over the up man, and somebody's got to get to it, and he'll just fall on it at the 18-yard line.
Elijah Bostic will field the kick down near the 18-yard line where the Tomcats will begin 1st and 10.
All right, so that took no seconds off the clock. 4:35, Tomcat offense will come back out here, and they sputtered a little bit on the last couple of possessions there, Coach.
Well, it's going to create some frustration amongst some of the players, but they have shown they're able to move the ball. And again, we have done some things both on offense and defense. So when those yellow flags come out, you put yourself in a tough spot. So we need to limit our mistakes.
All right, first down and 10, and Green just going to get it to Collins, and Collins is tripped up, gain of a couple to the 20, but he had some green pasture in front of him, and I could see him eyeballing it already.
Well, now you're at about, again, 2nd and 8. You can get 2 or 3 yards out of here. You're down to about 3rd and 5. Again, we're just don't try to get it all back in one swoop.
All right, single receivers on both sides. And here's the snap. Green going to go straight ahead, following a blocker, and Aiden Green will get up to about the 24-yard line or so.
Green carries, picks up 4. Tackle by number 8, Bannister.
All right, so now you're in about a 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4, so manageable. I certainly am not in one to try to call plays, but it might be time for one of those jet sweeps, a little pitch to Amarian or Jaden Collins.
Slotting a wide out to the right side. Winger will come to the right side of the line of scrimmage. Here's the snap. Green wanting to throw it, looking. Now he's just going to tuck it down, and he will be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about where they're going to mark him.
Yeah, they're going to help him out on that one.
Tackle by number 9, Eric Jones.
No gain on that play, and the Tomcats going to have to punt it away again, Coach. With time waning down here in quarter number 3, 3 minutes as Hendricks will settle in around the 12-yard line.
Well, the punt was great off this toe in the air, but when it hit the ground, we get a tough bounce. Let's see what he can do now.
Hendricks, good snap, no real pressure, and much better punt this time. Going to take a big Tomcat bounce, picked up at the 31, and the Yellow Jackets will try a return here, and he'll step out of bounds at the 44.
Wiggins on the return. Forced out of bounds.
So a 45-yard effort, and Xavier
field.
Wiggins will get out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. There's a marker down, so we'll sort that one out and see what that's all about.
Seems like it has carried over from the first half a bit.
Yep. That it did. I'm not even sure what indication that is. And he didn't tell us who it's going against. Well, they're going to back the Yellow Jackets up.
We will gladly take it.
Yep. So from the 44 back to the, man, that's a 15-yarder.
15 yards back to the 29, 1st and 10.
I didn't see anything. Of course, no, I didn't hear anything, and we can't hear down there, so who knows what happened.
All right. So from the 29-yard line, the Tomcat defense will try to stifle Crockett and the Yellow Jackets here. There's a snap, and Crockett going to run out, and he's going to be hammered back around the 15-yard line. Nice sack by the Tomcat defense.
Number 4, Griffin.
And that's a group effort from the line all the way to the back, because he's dropping back. He doesn't see anything that he likes, and you've got guys coming from both sides, kind of a meet you at the quarterback scenario.
Loss of 14 on the play, Coach. Man, second down 24, and that's maybe the break the Tomcat defense needed here in the second half.
Well, and you're pinning them back in their own territory.
4 wide receiver set. Now Crockett wanting to run it, got an option, and he'll swing it out near side. Lots of room to go, and the Tomcats will converge, make the tackle out around the 23.
To Summers. Pasley on the tackle.
Charlie Pasley again.
3rd down and 10.
And you'll see they kept the guy close to kind of, I don't know if I necessarily say spy him, but just to make sure they got an eye on him and that he doesn't drop it and run.
Yep, he got out to the 28-yard line. And so that was a gain of 12, maybe 13, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Trips to the right for Crockett. There's a snap. Crockett looking to throw again. And the defense is going to contain him right there. Ladner and company will grab him, and he'll get across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Now, how's the official on the far side got him up at the 29? How is that possible?
4th down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets.
You know, with these guys right here, you got about 6, 7 guys down there, so one sees one thing, one sees the other.
Yeah, but there's no way. Now they've marked it back at the line of scrimmage, so they're going to say no gain. 4th down and 11. Yellow Jackets in punt formation here as there's under 30 seconds to go in the third. Knuckly kick that's going to get over the head of the returner. Take a Yellow Jacket bounce. All you had to do was back up a couple of yards, Jaden. Fair catch it. So, but it'll be downed. Let's see, where was the final spot? Down around the 13-yard line or so, and that's going to make that a booming 59-yard effort for that young man. There's 12 seconds to go in the quarter, and the Tomcat offense will come back out on the field. Could have saved yourself about 15 yards there if you just caught it, right?
Yeah, you'd like for him to get that catch, but where we're at now, we're going to play it from, what did we say, was that 13? All right, let's see what we got.
All right, Tomcats trailing it by 11 here. Here's a snap, and Green, a little option to the right, and should have held on to it. Loss of a yard.
Into the third quarter. St. Martin 14, Stone County 3.
And that'll do it for quarter number 3.
Again, third quarter is brought to you by Boondocks Barbecue.
Fairleigh just didn't have anywhere to go that time, Coach.
Awesome.
No, we did not. And again, you know, some of this, we've said week number 2 with the young man that is having to fill in and has done some good things. Is he's no doubt given his best effort. And still has a quarter to play now too. Let's not forget that. And we're down by 11, so we've got opportunities to score, and we've moved the ball. We just have to be more consistent on patching together a drive.
All right, so we'll head to the fourth quarter. That'll give us a moment to tell you that Crown Care Communities is a proud Tomcat sponsor. And you can find them out there at 918 Parkway Drive. Danielle Sons and her staff offering the finest in personal care here in Stone County. If you've got a loved one or a family member that needs a little personal care, consider the fine folks at Crown Care Community, located out at 918 Parkway Drive right there in Wiggins. Thanks again to all our Tomcat sponsors for making this year's broadcast possible. As we moved over to YouTube, got some new equipment, and all made possible by those Tomcat sponsors. So please let them know how much you appreciate their efforts in making sure you get to see Tomcat football. Long Beach leads Bay High 35-0 in the third. Ocean Springs 21-14 over Pascagoula also in the third. Picayune 16-7 over Biloxi in the third quarter. As we start the fourth here, and Aiden Green wanting to throw it, and he gets rid of it as he was headed to the turf. And they're going to converge and try to decide, was that incomplete or was he sacked? Now we got a flag, intentional grounding.
Against Stone County.
Yeah, ridiculous. But anyway. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty and the loss of down there.
That'll leave third down and the whole bunch for the Tomcats.
A whole bunch, as Coach Long.
That's going to put the football back at the 3-yard line.
We're at the 3, and the stick, you see where the sticks are. You got to get to about the 35.
Oh, my goodness. And downfield, trying to hit Collins, double covered, incomplete.
Keys in coverage.
Well, you took an opportunity downfield to try to drive the ball downfield to one of your receivers, and looked from where we were at like there might have been. He got behind, but we weren't able to get that in.
All right, so here's a 4th down. Hendricks going to punt.
Big punt.
On 4th down and a lot. 4th down to about 20, and he dropped it. And Hendricks did a good job, just picked it up and got a good punt away. And it's going to take a Tomcat bounce, be touched dead out around the 33-yard line.
I tell you, that's when you get the snap like that, the situation unfolds like that. He did a pretty good job of staying cool, getting the ball off, and giving himself a chance.
So a 31-yard punt off the foot of Hendricks, and this not going the Tomcats' way here in the 4th quarter. 11:34 remaining. Yellow Jackets going to get the football again in great field position in Tomcat territory to 33-yard line.
And surrounding counties with all your primary health care needs. Thank you, Dr. Bobby Byrne and Wiggins Primary Care, for sponsoring tonight's 4th quarter.
And here comes Crockett and the Yellow Jacket offense. Two receivers either side for Crockett. There's a snap. Crockett wanting to throw it. Stepping up. Now he's just going to try to run it, and nothing doing. He'll be sacked back at the 35-yard line. So the Tomcat defense has really figured out Crockett here in the second half of this ball game.
Well, they've been able to get a hat on him, get some pressure on him, and again, kind of just again keeping themselves in the game to give themselves a chance to win.
Timeout, St. Martin.
All right, so the Yellow Jackets are going to take a timeout here with 11:05 to go in this 4th quarter. And that'll give us a moment to let you know that the JV and middle school squad's going to be on the road next week. JV on the road Monday to East Central, and the middle school on the road to Van Cleve. When is that one, Coach? Is that Thursday night?
2 weeks from tonight.
Let's see, middle school, they'll play on Thursday, then your JV and your...
Yeah, Thursday the middle school is at Van Cleve, 5:30 and 7, and then Monday night the 9th grade and JV is on the road at East Central, 5:30 and 7.
Tomcats versus the Rebels.
Super important games right there, because that's where you're building the foundation for your high school teams down the road. So
right.
Next
And
Friday night at 7 p.m. during the Stone County Fair for community worship.
Lord have mercy. Is it fair time?
it is.
All right, here's the snap, and that's a direct snap to a different quarterback here, and he's going to try the left side, finds a little bit of running room over there, does Dawson Sullivan.
New quarterback in for the Yellow Jackets, Dawson Sullivan.
Not sure what if there was a problem.
For a decent gain.
Sullivan gets up to about the 27-yard line or so. Gain of about 8 on the play.
Well, and up 14-3, that might be their opportunity to try to
about 4.
Try to throw a wrinkle in there, but big down right here.
All right, so Sullivan will stay. And here's the snap. Sullivan going to give to the tailback, coming right side this time. A little bit of room, splits the defenders inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line or so.
Number 10 could get down near the 10-yard line. Talk about Pasley.
Charlie Pasley again, running out of bounds around the 12. Gain of 15 on that one, Coach. So you bring Crockett out, and now Sullivan hurts you.
Well, maybe just a change your speed, just change your pace, just something to throw the Tomcats off.
Different cadence?
Absolutely could be.
Yep. All right, so on 1st and 10 from the 12. And it looked like maybe a busted play, but he'll turn it upfield, get down near the 5 before the Tomcats can get him off his feet.
Sullivan will call his
Dawson
own number
Sullivan.
down to the 5-yard line. Tackled by C.J. Griffin.
Griffin and others on the stop down there. Clock is moving under 10 minutes. And the Tomcats, like you were saying earlier, time's going to be a factor. And it's just going to keep ticking. The Yellow Jackets are in no hurry here.
Well, this is just typically not these games that they go much slower, but this one has been just ridiculously quick.
All right, Sullivan again reversing his field, and he'll get a yard, maybe 2. As the Tomcats converge, we'll have to get to the bottom of the pile here and unstack it. See where they're going to spot him.
Gain of a couple. 3rd down and 1.
So 3rd down, about a yard here.
You got that on what, the 3?
Yep, ball's on the 3-yard line. Clock is approaching the 9-minute mark as it continues to roll.
And they are in no hurry. And some of this, you said cadence earlier.
And they just get it away to beat the play clock, and now they may have called a timeout, and they did.
St. Martin.
So a timeout with 8:52 to go here in the 4th. The Yellow Jackets using their 2nd timeout here in the 2nd half as they try to keep this one alive and maybe put it out of reach for the Tomcats here. Trying to get over to Score Stream. Find you a couple of score updates over there. See if anything has changed or something Matt Stats doesn't have. Purvis and Sumrall still 15-14 Sumrall there in the 3rd quarter.
Tight game.
That's a tight one. Poplarville, let's see. Well, that's last week. Picayune leads Biloxi 16-14 in the 3rd. Laurel leads Gulfport 14-7. Poplarville 39, Hancock 19. So the Hornets have gotten stirred up down there in Bay St. Louis.
Running away with that.
Get you some more here in just a minute. Coming out of the Yellow Jacket timeout. One receiver split wide to the left. That is Kevin Marshall. And everybody moved, and now a flag is going to come down.
Got some moving, some sitting still.
Yep, the right half of the line of scrimmage took off, so that should back the Yellow Jackets up here.
There we go.
Some miscommunication by the Yellow Jackets.
So now 3rd down to about 6. Tomcats can breathe a little easier here. I don't know how 3 seconds got off the clock.
3rd down and 6 from the 8.
All right, overload to the right. And here is Crockett back in at quarterback, and Crockett's going to take it into the end zone. Wow.
Crockett will take it in from the 8 for the touchdown. Yellow Jackets.
All right, so with 8:43 to go, the Yellow Jackets have found the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and throughout the night, they've had the benefit of working from a relatively short field, and they've kept they've kept the drives going with just. They've had some big chunks here, but they get small chunks. That's what I was saying earlier. That's a way that you can just kind of pound on the other teams and keeping it on the ground. You get 2 or 3 here, 3 or 4 there, and then you break one for 10, 15, 16 yards, and it can take the win.
Extra point is up and good by Jelanovic, and so
it can take the morale out of you for
as the Tomcats look at 8:43 to go on the clock, and not a whole lot to be happy about offensively. Maybe turn the page in the playbook or something and see if they can get something going here, but time is definitely a factor. You're down by essentially 3 scores now.
They've had some luck, or had some positive yardage with some sweeps, and again, don't want to get in the idea of calling the plays, but
yeah, Moss Point still all over Stanislaus 24-6. Forest County leads Van Cleve 14-7. Presbyterian Christian 14, Pass Christian 7. Harrison Central still getting walloped by Heidelberg 44-7.
All
right, here's the kick. Going to be a squibber and fielded at the 27-yard line. That's where the Tomcats will start.
Bostic will field the kick at the 27-yard line. First and 10 Tomcats.
So a little better start for the Tomcats. At least they're not inside the 20 here. 8:43 on the fourth quarter clock. 21-3 Yellow Jackets.
Well, a little more than 8.5 minutes left. Again, there's some time to make you have some time to put a drive together, and this is where, again, you don't make the mistake, the penalties,
Yep. Matt Stats with Coast Football. Losing your first-string quarterback's difficult for any team. Green has done his best, like you were talking about earlier, Coach. And here comes Green, and he is going to be bumped in the backfield, bounced off of one, and out of bounds around the 20-yard line, so a loss on the play.
Green first out of bounds by number 7,
you get athletes, and I think this is in any sport. They just become creatures of habit, and from pre-game to during the game to your practice schedule, your workouts, you get locked into what you do, and when you throw this in here, which this is by nobody's fault or anything like that, it's a tough set of circumstances to walk into and do well, and he has done admirably.
Yep, Green going over the top here, and got a flag coming down the near sideline as he tried to find Sammy Johnson here on the near side. So a flag going to stop things at about 7:59. We'll see what that's all about. Probably defensive pass interference.
And if that is, you take it plus play and move down the field.
There's no flag for pass interference.
Yep, no flag. I was going to say, it didn't look like that was anything illegal there. But now it puts the Tomcats in a third down and 16 situation from about the 21-yard line.
Well, and this is not, whether it's a fill-in at quarterback or a starter, this is a tough set of downs.
It'll be a reverse. Collins coming to the near side, splits one, gets by a couple, and he'll go out of bounds around the 39-yard line, and that's a Tomcat first down.
Jaden Collins.
Well, and Jaden Collins, you put the ball in his hands,
and that's an American Rural Satellites Tomcat first down.
There we go, confirmed by Coach Long, first down.
Absolutely. By American Rural Satellites.
Yep, 7:48 to go, and a nice positive gain there for the Tomcats on 3rd and 16. Maybe that'll get a little momentum behind this offense here.
Company American Rural Satellites.
There's the snap. And Green going to go over the middle and just overshoot his intended target, Jaden Collins again. And so,
Sullivan in coverage.
And timing on these, so much of passing, if not the whole thing. I mean, yeah, it's pitch and catch, but timing. You're running to a spot, you're running to a certain point on the field, and that is rep after rep after rep after rep, and it just takes time to build that.
That it does. As the Tomcats look at 2nd down and 10. There's a snap, and this is going to be a run to the left. Short gain up to about the 44-yard line or so. I don't know what all that was about.
Number 7, Colding in on the tackle.
Really? The closer you get to the end of the game, and with the score being as it is, sometimes there could be some things said down there that we don't hear.
3rd down and a long 5 here. Just go ahead and call it 6. Single outs to both sides. Good protection, and now Green going to have to take off running. And there's a flag going to be dropped in the backfield, probably in the area of holding.
Penalty flag on the play.
Yellow Jackets
by number 9, Jones.
might just decline that. Clock is stopped for the moment at 6:58 to go here in the ball game. Yep, holding against the Tomcats, and they will back them up. So that's going to back them back up to around the 34-yard line or so. But it's going to be 3rd and about 15 here for the Tomcats. Actually, they set it down at the 39. Then you get a 5-yard holding penalty.
3rd down again.
There we go. All right, let's try this again.
Well, it's 3rd and 11. That don't make sense, but anyway. Deep downfield, got a man open, and just over the outstretched arms of Matthew Hendry. And that'll fall incomplete. The Tomcats in a punting situation here.
Pass intended for number 14, Hendry, falls incomplete. Bannister in coverage, 4th down.
Just a little too far, Coach, and that's that lack of time at quarterback and the timing, like you were saying.
It is so much, whether it's, you know, driving it down the field, short, intermediate, and if you've never done it, you know, you don't realize it, but it is absolutely built on time.
All right, there's the snap, and Hendricks will get a end-over-end kick away. It'll land about the 24, be picked up at the 18-yard line.
Got to cover.
And the Tomcats cover well. Tackle made at the 22-yard line.
It's a good sign they're getting downfield and they're covering that. I mean, that's the special teams. That's, you know, that's where you can really find out the pulse of your team in a way. Is how they're going to do on special teams. I mean, that's an opportunity where you know you got to get down and it can be decisive in a game. So good to see them getting downfield and covering.
All right, so the Yellow Jackets will try to chew up as much as they can of this 6:24 that's left here in this ball game as they maintain a 21-3 lead here in the 4th quarter, and now the officials got to talk about something. Now, how'd the football get from the 22 to the 24-yard line? They're going to give him forward progress or something? He ran back.
One sees one and another sees another. So crazy. But you know those things, those dudes are undefeated every time.
Yeah. All right, 1st and 10 now from the 24-yard line. Back to the other quarterback. He'll give straight ahead, and the Tomcats are ready for that one. Short gain up to about the 26.
Hand off to Summers, tackle by number 10, Williams.
That is still Sullivan back in at quarterback.
2nd down and 8.
Well, what you're telling your guys right now on defense, you know, look, we're about to score. Again, we're playing, you're covering your gap, cover your assignment, get to the football, watch the football, don't give the yards away.
Now we're going to have a timeout. Well, that's going to be the Heat timeout. That's what that
we'll
is.
Remind you that the 4th quarter tonight's game.
All right, so the Tomcats are off next week, Coach. Couldn't come at a better time as you're trying to get your starting quarterback healthy enough to get back in the ball game. And I think he'll be back when the Tomcats return to action.
Sometimes a bye week is the best medicine for everybody in all sorts of ways. I mean, it gives them a week off, gives them time to kind of recalibrate, gives you extra time to work on that next opponent. You know, and you keep your same routine. You know, you're going to have your JV 9th grade game on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You keep that the same. Maybe Thursday you go for a little longer, and you might even have a practice on Friday, or maybe you practice 4th block and send them home. Don't know if that's what they're going to do, so parents don't say that I said that. But you know, you try to keep some routine and keep things consistent. But sometimes an off week is a good thing.
Well, they got one coming up, Coach, as the clock will get back underway here. We're under 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Yellow Jackets 2nd down and 8. Trips to the right for the new quarterback, Sullivan. Now they'll swap around, get everybody set. Take all the time off the play clock here, and there's a snap. And this will be Summers again. And he'll get up to the 30-yard line.
Summers on the carry, tackled by number 8, Luster.
Gain of about 4 on that one. 3rd down and 4 coming up here.
3rd down and a long 3.
We're at about 5 minutes. And,
We got a Yellow Jacket down on the field over here on the near side. I just saw him. Yep, so the Tomcats off next week, and the Bulldogs will celebrate homecoming here next Saturday at 7 o'clock, hosting the Southwest Bears. Homecoming festivities will get underway on campus all week. The Clem Dillinger Memorial Golf Tournament and a whole lot of other things. For all of that, you can log on to mgccc.edu and find out about all the homecoming festivities coming up. Final score, Long Beach defeats Bay High 49-0. First shutout for the Bearcats since 2010, their first win of the season, according to Atcoast Football.
Big win right there.
Yep, Bay High at 0-3. So out of the break, 3rd down for the Yellow Jackets. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left for Sullivan. And there's a snap. Yep, working the clock. Sullivan, the keeper, to the near side, and he'll have the first down as he'll try to stay in bounds, and he does up to about the 42-yard line.
Sullivan keeps, be brought down by number 20, Terrio.
Got nervous on that one. Look close to where it might have been hitting out of bounds.
JT Terrio on the stop. Clock down to 4.5 and counting. So you hear the Yellow Jacket band on the far side over there. Sullivan going to take the play clock down to 5 before he snaps it. Handoff out of the backfield. Tomcats got him slowed up, and they'll get him stopped after a short gain of a yard.
Tackle by number 50, Ladner.
Colton Ladner got a hold of him and would not let him go.
2nd down and 9.
3:45 clock moving here, 4th quarter, and all the Tomcats can do is sit there and watch it unless they wanted to expend their timeouts, which they're not going to do at this time.
I've got them, 2 timeouts left?
I think so. Here's a snap, and Sullivan going to keep it himself, looking for a hole. The Tomcats seal it all off, and now he reverses his field.
I'd have somebody at
that
home.
Looks like a block on the back over there, but no flag. Sullivan down the far sideline. There comes a flag in late.
There you go.
And we'll see what all that's about as they'll stop the clock at 3:07. And we'll see what they finally bring as an indication here.
You get a lot of movement one way when you try to peel back across. There's oftentimes, I won't say every time, but a lot of times there's opportunity there for, you got to get that last block, and a lot of times that play might.
Blindside block.
There you go.
So a blindside block back around the flag's laying at the 27-yard line. So Sullivan going to get credit for the run to the 27. And then the penalty is going to back him up to about the 42-yard line.
Some unhappy St. Martin fans over there.
1st and 10, Yellow Jackets.
The result will be a first down at that point. All right, clock down to 3:07. And here is Crockett back at quarterback. And Crockett will give. Going straight ahead, following some blockers. First down yardage and more. Looked like the football came out. It did. And did the Tomcats get it? And we did. Yes, the Tomcats recovered by C.J. Griffin.
About the 23, 25.
Landon Parker forced the fumble.
So that's the break you need as Wells got down around the 25-yard line or so. Tackle and fumble. And Griffin able to recover.
Well, your defense gets a turnover. Again, small. You're looking for whatever bits of, whatever positives you can get right now. Again, 2:55 left. Certainly time to put a score up.
All right, so Green and the offense back. Everybody in close on the right side. There's a snap, and Green wants to throw it. And Green trying to evade tacklers. He'll be dropped back inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line.
By number 23, Aiden Jackson.
Again, you got Green back there trying to make a play, trying to read what's going on downfield, and that's another thing. Just with that position, you're
on the play, 2nd and 17.
You're driving the bus on the offense, and you're he's no doubt trying to make a play out of whatever he can, but tough situation right there.
All right, there's a snap, toss sweep to Collins, coming to the near side, got a blocker in front, and Collins will step out around the 20-yard line, 25-yard line.
Forced out by number 4, Marshall. Gain of 7, 3rd and 10.
Back to the original line of scrimmage. Stops the clock at about 2:09 to go in the ball game here.
Well, 3rd and 10, and with since you're in the situation you're in, you take this time to use these reps to learn. I mean, this is a game. This is game time, game speed.
Green with all kind of time to look, fires downfield and in and out of the hands of Hendry.
That's incomplete, intended for Hendry.
Nice pass that time by Aiden Green, but it falls incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 10, and here comes Hendricks with 2:01 to go in the ball game.
Well, and what that can do, that gives you as a coach and as Green and offense as a whole, it gives you things to look at when you come back on Monday and you watch film, and it gives you know what you need to work on, and you go from there.
All right, so Hendricks from his own 12-yard line, good snap, a little bit of pressure. Gets away a nice punt that's going to hit and just kind of die at the 42-yard line. That's where it'll be down.
That young man has got he will only get better as the season goes on, and don't be surprised as the season goes on where, his punting, he is going to be a guy that can absolutely help us in the field position game as the season goes on. He's gotten better every game.
All right, the Tomcats will be off next week, and so if you want to see a little football in Stone County, you're going to have to come to the Bulldog Homecoming next Saturday. And then as we look forward down the schedule here, trying to tell you where we're headed to after the off week. Looks like George County on September the 26th, and it will be there.
Right down the highway.
Yep, over in Loosedale. And here's a snap, give straight ahead, finding some running room, and across midfield into Tomcat territory goes Xavier Wiggins, I believe.
Xavier Wiggins, the ball carrier. Talk about number 20, Terrio.
So right now you're coaching your guys up.
First down, Yellow Jackets.
Hey, again, throw the score out.
Gain of 20 on that play. Clock is under a minute and a half to go here, and it is rolling. See if the Yellow Jackets take all the time off, like they've been doing. It looks like they're going to.
What you want to see now is all the white hats running to the ball.
And now Sullivan just going to take a knee.
Fans, a friendly reminder that no one is allowed on the field after the completion of tonight's game. Thank you.
So Sullivan takes the knee back at the 37-yard line, or the line of scrimmage, and that's going to get the clock under a minute. And so they'll get all the time off the play clock and do it a couple more times, and this will be over. So the Tomcats will move to 1-2. They'll drop this one to St. Martin by a final score of 21-3. And there's a snap and another kneel by Sullivan. And we're going to have enough time. Yes, that'll do it. And so the Tomcats come up a little short on homecoming here tonight, Coach, but the defense, I believe they played pretty good. Off week coming up will give Xander Howard a little time to heal and recover. Maybe he'll be back for the George County game. We'll have to see.
Well, you have an off week where you've got time to heal, time to recover, time to take a break, time to recalibrate. You keep some things consistent next week, kind of keep the same schedule. You've got some,
Go ahead.
You've got reps. You got more reps on tape for Aiden Green at quarterback. And one thing about that, you're going to have Xander Howard coming back. Obviously he's familiar with the quarterback position. He's a guy. Then you have Aiden to go back to his position, and there, then you can kind of get back into some comforts you have. But also, what this couple of game stretch has done, you're building some blocks for down the road if this happens again, and hopefully this doesn't. But he's learning a new skill set, and that's a good thing. And anytime these guys are out of their comfort zone and they're learning something, I think that's important for them. Obviously, it hasn't gone the way they've wanted to, but they're putting reps on tape. Then that means that there's things that they can identify, they can fix, and that could build something later on down the season as the season goes on. That might be important. Hendricks getting better from week to week as a punter. Don't sleep on him down the road. In that punter position, sticking one back deep that helps us and helps put our defense in a good position. Our defense, they're flying around. They get a turnover late in the game. It might not seem that significant at the time, but you put it on the board. It's a stat. It's a takeaway. You build on that, and this is a hard game, and it's not going to go like you want every time. And we got a good coaching staff. We got some good kids down there. They'll come back Monday. They'll keep plugging. They'll get a week off. I say a week off, a Friday off, and then we can come back and we'll go down the highway and we'll play the Rebels. See what happens.
All right, as the Tomcats move to 1-2, dropping the homecoming match again on off week next week. So open date, that'll give Howard time to heal, and the Tomcats will come back on Monday, as Coach Jones talked about, start looking at film and start getting ready for the George County Rebels in a couple of weeks. Homecoming for the Bulldogs here on Saturday, a week from tomorrow, and so make sure you're on hand for that. Taking a final look at the stats here tonight. Crockett just 6 of 13 in the passing department, 49 yards, nothing to really get excited about there. But running the football, 27 carries for the quarterback coach, 105 yards and 3 touchdowns. All 3 of the Yellow Jacket touchdowns tonight scored by Crockett, and that's
pretty solid.
That hurt.
That's a solid night, and kudos to that young man. And I don't know who they have coming up next week. I think you might have said it. I don't know.
I did not. I don't know who it is. I don't have schedules for everybody else. But on the Tomcat side, Green in the passing department, 7 out of 14, 40 yards, no touchdowns. Collins got 6 of those, and Hendry got 1, even though it went for negative yards there. Running the football, Green 13 carries, just 32 yards, something he's unaccustomed to. But it has a different look when you're in the quarterback slot. Yeah, every once in a while there's a direct snap or the wild Tomcat or whatever you want to call it. But as the quarterback, it has a different look and a different feel as well.
Well, when you're back there and you're taking those snaps, whether it be under center, whether it's in the shotgun, or whatever, different places are going to call it different things. When you're taking the snap, you're the guy, and I said earlier tonight, you're directing traffic, and we talk about practice reps and game reps, and I thought he had a great week of practice, and he is just building up. This is part of the curve. And when you get in here on Friday night and the other team shows up, it's full speed and it just looks different. And it just, it is what it is. But I still think there's value in those reps. I see 7 of 14. Well, that's 14 snaps. You're going to get to go back and look at what did you see downfield? Did you miss something? Should you have thrown? And that's okay. That's part of it. And as far as carrying the football, 13 attempts at 32 yards. Well, again, he's having to think in a different mindset. So it's tough, and nobody. We want to have more points at the end of the night than the other team. I'm one of those that looks at what can we find out of here that we did well, and I think there's some things there. Of course, there's some things that need to be worked on, and the coaches know that. So.
All right, Coach, 274 yards of offense for the Yellow Jackets tonight. I would say a pretty good effort by the Tomcat defense there. It could have been a whole lot worse. Just 96 for the Tomcats, 33 passing yards for both teams, 241 on the ground for the Yellow Jackets. But later in the ball game, the Tomcat defense able to kind of figure out the Crockett situation there and still got 105 yards. Penalties on the night, 10 for 81 against St. Martin, 7 for 48 against your Tomcats. There was one turnover, and that was the fumble by the Yellow Jackets there in the fourth quarter. And not much else to shine about, but time of possession, the Yellow Jackets had it about 10 minutes longer than the Tomcats. So that's your story of tonight's ball game. Taking a final look down the scoreboard that Score Stream has for us over here. We'll see if we can get you a few others before we step away. Purvis has taken the lead over Sumrall 17-15 in the fourth quarter. Perry Central and Forest all over Perry Central 40-6. Biloxi and Picayune leads them 23-14 in the fourth quarter there. Laurel and Gulfport all tied up at 14 apiece now in the fourth quarter, so the Admirals trying to fight their way back. Poplarville and Hancock in the fourth quarter, it is 46-33, so the Hawks finding a little bit of life there in the second half. Forest County leads Van Cleve 21-13 in the third. Moss Point all over Stanislaus, 24-6 third quarter score there. Presbyterian Christian 14-7 over Pass Christian. That's not final. I don't see any finals on here. Let's see. Columbia is all over Petal, 26-7. Pascagoula and Ocean Springs, the Greyhounds lead that one 21-14 in the third. East Central and PRC. PRC leads that one 42-14, third quarter score there. And West Harrison 34, Gaucher 10. Wow, that showing a halftime score there. Hattiesburg and Oak Grove, it's all Warriors, 42-7. D'Iberville leads Seminary 21-7. George County, Greene County is ahead by 6 in the fourth quarter, 29-23, and that's your look at the scores out and around Gulf Coast football. That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Coach, what did you think about your I don't know, is this your first time to ever be the primary color guy in a football game?
This is the first time, first night.
All right.
First night. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed having you here. Coach Miller sent us a copy of his foot earlier as he was watching from North Carolina up there. That's a Sam Smith thing.
Yeah.
He always sends us a big picture of his bare foot, but Todd sent a picture of his. I think that was Todd's foot. Came from him, so I'm guessing it was. Thanks to all of you guys for watching in, but more importantly, thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. Trinity Funeral Services with offices in McHenry and in Lumberton. Ballman Auto Repair, Highway 49 North. The Post on Pine, where everybody gathered up and watched the game there tonight. And Crown Care Communities on Parkway Drive there in Wiggins. That'll do it for tonight's broadcast. Again, an off week next week for the Tomcats. Back to action 2 weeks from tonight in George County, so go ahead and make your reservations over there if you plan to spend the night, even though it's just a 30-minute drive over to Loosedale. I don't know how many hotels they have there in Loosedale, but I'm sure you can find a room over there. For Coach Jones, thank you for stepping in for Coach Miller, and we'll have you back in here with us some and figure this out the rest of the season. I think the Tomcats going to be okay down the district stretch.
I think they are, and this is the time where, if you have some things that come up, if there's some adverse situations and you gotta shoot from the hip a few times or a little bit, I think this is the time to do it. I think we got some great kids. We got a great coaching staff. They get after it during the week. There's some things to fix. There's some things to build on, and you got I like what we have. I like what we have to build on tonight. Yeah, some things didn't go our way, but we're going to find some positives, and you move on and you play the next one.
Yeah, that's what you do. And the next one is 2 weeks away in George County, so make your plans to come on the road and support your Tomcats if you can't make the trip. Catch all the action right here on Tomcat Sports on YouTube. Stone Tomcat Sports TV on YouTube. For Jason Jones, I'm Wayne Fleury saying thank you for tagging along with us tonight. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks in George County. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.